welcome back to you
and me,
board gaming. And we're doing our full playthrough of a game we've never actually played before. This is the first for us. This is Your Worst Nightmare?
On our Halloween Spooktacular. Joined by Alan Ungluck. Ungluck.
This is certainly fascinating being live.
The Raven has some knowledge. Some word wisdom.
Yes, very much so. Why? Is it disturbing you?
In some way, yes.
Anyway, this is Your Worst Nightmare. It's a game where you're trying to figure out what's scarier.
You're ranking your fears.
You're ranking your fears, and then you're guessing what your opponent ranked to get a point. And there's 13 points. Once you make 13 points, then the game is over.
And before we get started here, check out the first look and review of this game before watching this.
Check that out before I open this box.
This is a Halloween Spooktacular, so you know you gotta have some tricks and treats in there. So we got some things up our sleeves here. Something I got up my sleeve here.
What? What do you mean? Tricks and treats up your sleeve.
Alright, so now that the competition has begun, so we're doing the full playthroughs. We're up for competition.
We are?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of competition?
Well, in fact, this is what's up for grabs this Halloween.
Oh, it's an actual U&ME Board Gaming Halloween Spooktacular trophy. It's even got U&ME Board Gaming engraved on it. U&ME Board Gaming Halloween Spooktacular. We're going for the Halloween golden skeleton trophy. Check that out. That is the neatest thing ever. That's cool. That's cool.
That is what's up for grabs.
All right, so we have
by the end of this special.
So hopefully by the end of the entire special, I guess we keep a tally who won what game and all that stuff, and it becomes that person's prize possession until next Halloween, and then it comes back up for grabs again, right? Mm-hmm. Oh. All right, so
fair wins, obviously. Fair wins.
Oh, of course. So, Your Worst Nightmare, the card game that you face your fears. That makes you face your fears. Excuse me. All right, let's dive into this.
Diving. Oh, scary.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that, but yes. Alright, so we're going to take off these scare cards, as they're called. Take them out. Give you one. Give me one.
So we got to keep the secret?
And then, yes, we have 2 extra ones. We have the instruction pamphlets. I don't think that we're probably going to get through all 300 cards in one night.
Obviously not, no.
But, wait, should we open up, just do one deck, or do we do all 3 decks? Put them together. That'd be one heck of a deck stacked up.
Yeah.
So we just do one deck at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. That's a pretty good observation. So
a huge stack.
Yeah, it would be a huge stack. Make more sense once we have.
Yeah. This would be a good game to come back to Halloween night and see like how far we can get through the game.
Ooh, like a Face Your Fears marathon.
Yeah, like trying to get through the deck. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So, we're doing. Oh, do we write in this is fears?
Yeah, the person's fears. So I'm putting down Deuce's fears over here, and my fears right here. For each one you get correct in the right spot, your opponent's fears, you get 1 point. And then if you get all 4 of them correctly in the right spot, then you get an extra 1 point. So you mark off each point per correct point.
So like flipping over 4 cards. Why is it 4? It should be like top 5. I feel like 5 is better.
You would think.
Yeah, because always top 5.
Yeah. Go ahead and shuffle up the deck. And then kind of discuss why those are in your top 4 and why they're ranked that way and what makes you scared of that particular thing. So, and the instructions. They actually said that the oldest one goes first.
But it's Deuce and the.
Just saying. There's not really a person that goes first or second. It's more like the oldest person flips the cards. Is what it says. And then it goes from who got the fear right. So if you get more than me, then you would go first in the next round. Like that. So or vice versa. So alright, so the deck. I'll flip top 4 cards. It's on the table. Like this, and then I will flip them over. Starting with this one over here on this side, which is balloons.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I can see the fear in that in many different aspects. So, okay.
Balloons.
Aliens.
Okay, no, I mean, just looking at that, I mean.
I'm getting kind of afraid to flip this one over.
Right there is
getting old.
It's like slowly getting more scary as it goes on.
Okay. Pollution.
Interesting first group.
Yes, very, very interesting. I think. So, okay, so how's it go? It goes.
1 being the most.
1 being the most and 4 being the least. Okay. So I would go. I think you would do. I would say probably this one. Number 1. And then this one. Probably that one at the last. And that one there.
Alright.
Okay.
So how do we do this?
All right. So. All players secretly fill in the left column of their scorecards by fears, ranking them the fears shown in order of what scares them the most, then with 1 being the scariest and 4 being the least scary. After ranking their own fears, players write in the name of one of their players at the top of the right column, which we did at the beginning of the game. Blank fears. They write in how they think that player ranked the same fears. When all players have finished writing, the oldest becomes the first ranker. The ranker announces which other players he ranked at this round and reads off the ranking. The ranked player then reads off his or her ranking of those fears in the My Fears column. Every fear that the ranker ranked correctly, he earns that 1 point. The ranker ranks all 4 fears in the correct order, he earns a bonus point for a total of 5 points. As players score points, they check off the numbers at the bottom of the scorecard, so you just mark them off as you go. The player on the ranker's left player's left now becomes the ranker. Play continues until every player has been the ranker. After the last player has been ranker, players write the name of the player they ranked on one of the blank lines on the scorecard.
So I thought there would be like chips or something to put on the numbers down here. So how do you determine how many points? You just tally right next to it?
Yeah, you just basically just take your marker and just check it off.
Oh, okay.
Like that, or mark it through, whatever you want to do. Because the whole thing is erasable.
I thought there'd be chips. Okay.
So anyway.
So 4-1, going 4-1 here.
Yeah, 4-1 is the least, and 1 is the most feared. So, am I saying what I did first, or am I saying what you did?
You're saying what because we're playing off of each other.
Ranker announces which player he's ranked. Oh, okay, I see. So I read off what I think you ranked. Okay.
Then I would do what you.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I think at number 4, being the least, something you're least afraid of, would be pollution. Because that's not necessarily something that I think you would be afraid of. I mean, yes, it could hurt the environment and everything, but as far as being like, oh, I'm scared of pollution, I don't think that would be something that you'd be afraid of, in my opinion. Number 3, I put balloons. Bit more frightening, loud noises, the bright colors. That could be kind of a scary thing. But I put it at the bottom because it doesn't seem something that'd be the most frightening thing for you. Number 2, I put in getting old. Something that, is a little bit more touching. You're afraid of getting old, things that happen when you're older, that type of thing. And at number 1, I put the aliens because they're just flat out creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what they look like. This is the depiction of what they could look like.
It's the most generic look of an alien.
The most common look of aliens. We don't know if they're good. We don't know if they're bad. There's a lot of unknowns about aliens. We don't know if they're actually real or not. Even though there have been, quote unquote, sightings of UFOs
unidentified flying objects.
Unidentified flying objects. I mean, we can't really say if they're spaceship, ships from outer space, from other dimensions or whatever, but there have been sightings, so I'm not discounting that, but we really haven't seen anything firsthand.
Yeah.
As far as seeing what an alien actually looks like.
So
Again, I went with pollution, balloons, getting old, and then aliens.
Okay.
So 4, 3, 2, 1, like that.
Okay, so would it be easier just to reveal these by one instead of going with it in the same?
However,
like you would say, I did this for 4, and then I would come back with that, saying, okay, this is not what I had, or this is what I put for it.
Whatever.
Okay. Well, for 4, for my fears. Is that what I'm doing here? Telling you what you got right. So 4, I had balloons for 4.
Really?
Like, do you really think I'm afraid of balloons? I mean, all those balloons that
it's
have.
It's kind of hard. It's balloons and pollution is more of a toss-up because they're like the least scary thing. But I put pollution at the very bottom because there's you really can't see pollution except for the smog coming out of the thing. So it's like, well, so that's why I put it at the very least. And then the balloons you can actually see, you can actually hear it, make loud noises and stuff. So it's a bit more frightening than pollution is, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I get. Okay, yeah, you never know. Like that balloon can pop at any moment, so you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like boom, boom, balloon, yeah, you gotta be afraid.
Yeah, uncertainty of when that balloon's gonna pop.
And then 3, aliens. Because they come in peace. They come in peace.
Well, we
so
don't know if they come in peace or not. That's the thing. It's a lot of unknowns about aliens. That's how I judge it.
These aliens I'm thinking of are very nice.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Come in peace. Look at this guy.
Which means number 1 is getting old. That was the last one you didn't say. So
I didn't say pollution yet.
Oh, you didn't say pollution either?
I only said balloons and aliens.
So it was balloons and aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, pollution for 2. Yeah.
Pollution for 2.
Guys, we need to fix this Earth, okay? There's too much going on currently, and we don't need pollution. Just fix it.
Wow.
I can't see everything dying.
I'm surprised you would put number 2 as being more scarier than
heal the world,
balloons, or aliens.
Pollution's a scary thing.
Anyway,
why would I put balloons scarier than pollution? And number 1's old. Like pollution. This is why old's like above pollution, because pollution you can fix. If all works together, you can fix it and stop it. Old, you can't stop it. It's happening. Well, I guess you could freeze, but
freezing yourself doesn't make you stop getting old. That just means you're not gonna die. You just be put in a cryogenic.
You'll be this, and then you'll wake up in the future and be the same age.
Yeah, but would that stop you from actually dying of natural causes just by freezing yourself?
No.
And waking up exactly.
You wouldn't die from old age. Like you'd still die from something else.
You would still die, but then it would just it won't. I don't think it would stop you from dying at the age you're supposed to die at. All that does is just prolong you for several years. Being in a deep sleep, and you wake up and you never know if you're going to die the next day when you wake up out of the cryo chamber.
Well, that was a waste.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, anyway. Alright. So, have at it. I didn't get any right at all. I got nothing. I got zilch.
Wow.
On that first round for me. So, it's up to you now.
Like, that's actually the most for me, because getting old leads to death, and that is a scary concept. Okay, Blitz's fears. Number 4, balloons. They're balloons. 3, old. Getting old. Number 2, pollution. And number 1, aliens.
Okay. I mean, why would you rank it that way?
Yeah, now that I'm kind of seeing that, good pollution probably would have been at 3, and old would be at number 2. But
well,
why is it flagging? Oh, we got poor connection.
So 4, I put down for pollution.
Mm-hmm.
Then 3 was balloons. Then 2 was aliens, and 1 was getting old.
Oh, so I guess we agreed on old.
So, yeah. That's the scariest thing for me.
Old?
Because I don't know what the future holds for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know how old I'll be before I pass on.
Dang.
You know. Will my skin be more wrinkled than it is now?
See, like, old's the scariest concept to think about in this group.
It's not like deathly afraid, but it's like there's a lot of unknowns about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's more about fearing the unknown of being how old you'll be. Like, I mean, and I don't think you got any of mine right either, so.
No.
All right.
There's round 1. What are these?
What are these? Okay, so these right here are for like, because there's four players.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 4 players. So I think your worst fear. Well, we'll start with number 4. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say your least fear out of these 4 is politicians.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because. Yeah, they can be scary, but, you know. Number 3, it's a hard decision for number 3, but I decided to go with live food. Just because seeing your food moving on your plate, that just creeps me out. And I'm sure that creeps you out, so I put it at number 3. Number 2, I put fire. Because it's unpredictable. You never know what it's going to do. Never how fast it's going to burn. You're not going to know how hot it's going to get at its hottest temperature. But number 1, I went with getting stuck in elevators.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care who you are. I think it's always on everybody's radar. They don't want to get stuck in radars. It's just a funny vibe about it. Getting stuck in elevators is just a funny vibe about getting in elevators. You try to hurry up, push the closed door button, hit the button, and you're already, by the time that door shuts, you're already going after the open door button, you know, because you want it to open up real fast. You don't want to get stuck on just a weird vibe about elevators. So that's what I did. I picked elevators at 1 for you as your greatest fear out of these 4.
All right. So yeah, politicians at 4. But I mean, they're not the best of people though.
I know it's a touchy thing. Like, I mean, some politicians can be really scary.
Yeah. By
the choices and things that they make. While other politicians are just kind of, they're not scary, but they're stupid. Right? So, I mean, depends on what politicians you're talking about.
Stupid and scary.
Yeah. Just saying. So.
Number 3, fire.
Oh, okay.
See, because I took it as just like a contained fire, like a campfire.
Ah, okay.
I didn't really see the concept of it burning like a house or something. Then that's to the point where it's scary. Like if it's house fire, it's more specified on the card, then that would be higher. But 2, live food. Alright, so 1 to 2.
1 to 2. And I'll let you do the honors of flipping the next 4 cards.
Alright. Card number 144. Exorcism. So the exorcism. The holding of extreme political or religious views.
Extremism.
Quality of state of being extreme. Yeah.
Extremism. So like
political.
An extreme version of political. So what do yours? Well, I'll do mine first.
Boom.
And for you, I'm gonna do. Okay. So number 4, I put beards for you.
Yeah, so I'll put everything in that same order. You know, beards, they're just beards. Is people afraid of beards? Like, is there actually people afraid of beards?
It may not be like the beard itself, it may be how it looks on a person's face.
Oh.
You know, how it gets all tangled up and the thickness of it or something. There's got to be more to it than just being a beard, you know. But anyway, yeah.
So same order for me.
Beards, extremism, explosions, dolls.
Yep.
Well, you got 5 points for that. I got them all in the exact order. All right, so now it's on to you.
No, that's what I'm saying. I put the same order. For guessing what you would put it at, the Blitzer Spheres, as I have it.
Oh, I didn't get 5 then.
Why?
Is that? Because I read it as that's what you put down for yours.
I did.
Oh.
And now I'm guessing yours, and I'm saying I put the same stuff as what my fears are.
Oh.
Same order. Beards, extras, explosions, dolls.
So, 4.
What the heck?
What?
It's not.
So, 4 was beards. You got that right. 3 was explosions. 2 was dolls. And 1 was extremism.
Afraid of politics? What? Number 1?
Yep. Because extremism, the person that comes to mind when I think of extremism and what he'd done to millions of people, thousands of people, Adolf Hitler. So yeah, I'm afraid that somebody would do that again in this world. Yes, that would be number 1 over dolls, and then explosions, and then beards. I have a beard. I'm not afraid of beards, so that was a given to put that out for. So.
His dolls all started from a young childhood.
Yeah, Dolls is up there too because I don't know. I can't stand the fact of Dolls just staring at me and having, you know, something like that sitting on the shelf, just staring there with his hands popped out.
Well, I was like,
creepy like that.
I was at Grandma's, and I've always been afraid of that one. It's like the big room of all the collector dolls.
Yeah. I had a neighbor who had a room just full of dolls.
Like, when you collect these, like, how is that?
And she had a bed in there. I had to sleep in that room one time. And I'm like, no. But I woke up and I was like, thank God I made it to the night. You know, I had no dolls on me or anything like that, but still, it was a freaky night's sleep.
Come here! So I go around the corner and once you stand in running position, head tilt. So, been afraid of dolls ever since. It was the Chatty Cathy doll. Specifically Chatty Cathy.
The Chatty Cathy.
Is what I'm afraid of.
Always scary ones, yeah.
So I got one for that, just the beards.
Just the beards. You want to do another 4 cards?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Once you get yours erased anyway. I'll give you a minute to get all that erased up.
Breaking a mirror. Black cats.
Jeez.
Which wasn't.
Both of those are actually
somewhat Halloween.
What do you call it? Superstitions. In a way.
And bad luck considered bad luck. Okay, if we get walking under a ladder.
Okay, we're getting freaky, yeah.
Something's up. Birds! It's actually a picture of a raven.
Oh, what do you know?
What do you know?
I made my debut in the game as well.
I questioned would ravens be in, and there is birds. Being stranded in the desert.
Oh, okay. So, we're looking at black cats, we're looking at breaking mirror, we're looking at birds, and being stranded in a desert. Okay. What would he pick being the...
Dank prick, shoot prick. Okay. I'll do it now. Okay. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Start the my fears.
My fears. I think that would be there.
What was that? So, let's see,
they're pretty much all the same, just in a different aspect, except for this one. I put being stuck in the desert as number 4. And then I did birds. And then I did breaking a mirror at number 2. And then at number 1, I did black cats for you.
Okay. So for 4, I did mirror. So where's your mirror at?
Number 2.
I mean mirrors. Like if you were to drop a mirror, it completely goes where. Like especially if you're barefoot, so that would be. No, I think about that, but Number 3, birds.
Okay.
Just because, birds. Because they're always together, so if like you make one mad, then they're all gonna come at you. It's like
birds of a feather flock together.
It's like in that one video where it's like in a city, and then you put up on screen, show the clip of it. But there's a guy, he's just trying to pet this one bird. It's in the city, and it's all of them get like pissed, and they're just like starting to attack him, and his car's locked. He's trying to get into his car, and it's pretty tough. The cats. I do not like cats. They're very unpredictable, especially black ones. Mm-hmm. They'll be nice to you. Start petting them, they'll turn on you in the next second. And then desert,
Desert at 1?
Yep.
Okay.
How would desert be less extracted?
Well,
just in there, no food, water.
Okay, I would see you putting that at number 1 if you were actually living near a desert. But
it's possible for me to.
We live several hundred miles away from the closest desert to us. Mm-hmm. So that's why I put it at the bottom of the totem pole, because I was like, okay, that's definitely not going to be at the top of his radar, because there's definitely no desert around us on either side of us, east or west.
It's not about what's nearest. It's just
I'm using logic, okay, in my thing, okay. So that's why I put it at the bottom. That's why I put it there, because it's like, why would you be afraid to get stranded in a desert when there's not even a desert around? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you'd have to literally go to a desert to get stuck in a desert from us, from where we're at right now.
Which I don't plan on getting in no desert anyway, so I'm good.
Exactly. So I mean, that's why I put it at the bottom of the totem pole. You know. But. So you put. What'd you put at 4?
Mirror
at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I got 1 point because 3 was birds. Yeah. So I did get that right, but the rest of them were out of place. All right. So now it is. Your go to figure out how I laid these out.
Well, probably use the same thing for you now. So mine's way off now, because if you use the same logic for yours, I got 4 mirror. All right, I'm going to use my data. Get off the internet, and use my data and see if that'll help it anymore. Alright, there's 4.
We have being alone. Okay. The number 13.
Which keeps popping up in the series a lot.
It is indeed. Nuclear weapons.
Okay, that mask. You should have just did gas mask, because that
yeah, that's just crazy, isn't it? And then finally, lightning. Okay. Okay. So, I picked nuclear weapons for 1.
Okay.
I mean, not 1, I'm sorry. For 4.
Mm-hmm.
The number 13 for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, lightning, and being alone at number 1.
Frick, you got that. Exactly like that. Is there a mirror behind me? It would have broke last round anyway. I don't know how you got that though. But yeah. Nuclear weapons for us. I was gonna put 13 for 4. I'm like, no, because in movies or anything, it's like you don't like apartment 1313. Like, don't trust that. You went into it anyway. But just because I put nuclear weapons for 4.
Okay.
Don't mean nothing. I'm still very afraid of those weapons. Like you don't know what Russia's got.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying you're not
there.
afraid. That's just the least on this.
Pressing a button.
And 4 being in the lowest. So.
Well, yeah, weapons 13 lightning alone. Yeah. Then I have 13 lightning, nuclear weapons, and alone for you.
So I got all 4 of those right?
Yeah.
All right.
So what's yours?
So, number 4 is 13.
Okay, cool.
Number 3 was being alone.
Frick.
Number 2 was nuclear weapons. And number 1 was
Okay.
lightning.
Alright. Wow. Okay, so I got 2 nuclear weapon and 13.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Number 1 lightning. What the heck?
That's because when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
I was out camping, Boy Scout camping trip, and there was a strike of lightning that nearly hit me. I was like, I'm bolting to the camp. Me and my friend happened to be hiking back to our camp, and it struck. It was a storm, and it struck really close to us, and we literally jumped about 10 feet off the ground, and we're like, one of those, like a you imagine seeing somebody getting scared from a cartoon movie and their feet are like spinning in the wind before they hit the ground.
Scooby.
That was kind of like how we felt. We were like, oh shoot! We got back in the camp. We went straight to our tent and shut the tent.
We're done for that.
It depends. Like, if I'm far away from the storm, whatever, I'm fine. But when it gets close, that memory pops up in my head. I'm like,
okay,
frick this. I'm getting in the house and I'm locking the door.
Oh, I'm gone. Yeah.
I mean, are we talking about like lightning or getting struck by lightning here? See, that's where the fine line is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, number 13, I mean, to me, it's just a number. Yeah, there's a little superstition that goes along with the 13 because, some people say, oh, it's lucky number 13, and then some people say, it's the unlucky number. But to me, 13 is 13. When I was younger, I probably would have put being alone at 1. But I've overcome that being alone fear. Over time, we just get used to it, and
these pictures are very dark for them. Like just the black and white.
Yeah, they're trying to be more spooky about it. That's why they went more of a black and white look.
Yeah, especially that gas mask in the shadows.
Yeah, that one's really freaky.
Like
that gas mask.
And look at that holes. 2-in-1 combo there.
Yeah. So anyway,
okay.
With the last 5,
now hold on.
I went all the way to 13.
I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
I have a challenge for you. Okay. So kind of like how we usually do that challenge in 5-second roll here. So I need 7 more. So if I can get that 7 within those next 3 rounds, you will take your icing, which is very unlikely for me to do that.
Next 3 rounds?
They'll, like, it's possible, but it'd be pretty.
I'll give you 3 rounds to try to win. Okay.
Either 3, 4. Like 4 because there's 4 things you have to guess on there. But, yeah.
So how many points do you need till you win?
7.
7 points. Mm-hmm. So you need 7 points to win in the next 3 rounds. Okay. So you're just guessing what I would do? Or my stuff filling out my stuff?
Yeah, just for fun at that point, yeah.
Just for fun, I'm filling it out?
Yeah. Right. Playing the game, yeah. Okay, it should be 4 because you have to guess 4 things, but I'll take 3. Here we go. Heights. Okay.
Okay.
City building. Okay, Spider-Man. Halloween. Okay.
Oh, that is a creepy looking face in the Halloween mask.
Going to jail.
Okay.
Going to jail. And straight jackets. And that dude does not look okay.
It's... Normally when somebody's in a straight jacket, that means they're in a insane asylum, so...
Unless you're Houdini.
Or they're just really crazy. Unless you're doing it for a magic trick or something like that, but yes. They usually do that so you're not hurting anybody, so they strap you in a straight jacket. And... Although, that straight jacket is not on that guy right.
What you mean? Mistake?
Straight jackets are made for the arms of the straight jacket. You stick your arms in straight, and then they lock your arms across your chest like this, or you can't get out of it, and all the locks are on the back. If you take a look at that picture, there's not one single arm across his front. His arms are behind his back.
So a back jacket?
So I don't know what the deal is about that straight jacket. And why are his shoulders that high up?
What?
Look at how high his shoulders are compared to what his arms are.
Oh, that's some freak stuff now.
Yeah. Especially this one here. Look how far up that shoulder is. Just.
And his arms down.
That's some freaky shoulder work right there. All right.
Mondoos. You have to pull this off here. Okay. Alright.
Hold on a second. I gotta figure out what your fears are now. I'll say that one at number 1. At number 2, I would say that one. Number 3 is that one. And number 4 is that one. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So, seniors. Okay. All right. Oh, the first time in history I'm saying yours first. All right. So.
Well, it's your challenge. Try to get the points right, so I'm giving you the first dibs at it.
Order I have it. Halloween. We going good so far?
Okay, so what was number 4? Number 4, Halloween?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going good so far? I gotta say all of them now?
Just say them all.
Okay, just tally them all. Okay. Halloween. Straight jacket. Heights. Jail.
Okay. So you have 2 out of 4 correct.
Oh!
Okay.
Okay, fine.
So Heights and Jail are correct.
Okay, Jail for number 1, Heights for 2.
Mm-hmm. But
Straight from Halloween? What?
Switch around.
We talking about the movie here?
Switch around Straight Jackets and Halloween, and you would have gotten it all right. So
okay.
Straight Jackets was at number 4, then Halloween at 3.
Why?
Because I'm not afraid of Straight Jackets, so Halloween had to go there.
Okay.
So that was kind of like a deduced thing. Like Heights, I'm not afraid of heights, but I am. Sometimes I do get this feeling in my head where all I see is the ground and it starts spinning in my eyes, and so that's why I put Heights where I'm at that. And going to jail, I know I'm a good citizen. I'm not gonna go to jail, but it's always in the back of my head, like I don't want to go in that place.
But
I've seen the inside of our jail here in town. Yeah, not a pretty place to go to.
See, but
it's dark, damp, and diluted. Not going in there.
There's the thing we got to see here is, it's you're put into the situation to where you're not.
Yeah, exactly. So I put Halloween at 4 because you're not really that afraid of Halloween. Heights at 3.
What's Michael Myers?
Exactly. Are they talking about the movie or just talking about the holiday itself?
Probably the holiday.
Most likely the holiday. Number 2, I said Straight Jacket, and number 1, I said going to jail.
So 3 was Straight Jackets and 2 was Heights. Like, you ain't messing with my arms. I don't like that. I don't like that.
So 3 was Straight Jacket and 2 was Heights, you said?
Yeah. Like, I gotta move.
So why don't you... I don't understand that. You're freaking about your arms being bound, but you put it at number 3.
I'll probably put it at 2 now. Now just thinking about it's getting me all sweaty.
Yeah, so I mean...
But the heights, if you're looking down, then yeah.
Yeah. See, the heights, you're not... If you don't think about how high you are, you're just looking around and everything. But then when you get to a certain spot and you just... Like, everyone has that thing about,
that camera.
I'm going to look down where I'm at. It's like, okay, that was not a good idea.
Why does everybody do that? It's like, you're up high, you're already scared, and you just look down for no reason.
It's either looking down or somebody in your group says, don't look down.
So and
then what makes you look down? Because I say, don't look down. So it's a automatic reverse. I'm going to look down.
Just don't say that. Don't look down. Why? Oh, I'll look down. That was kind of like that first time experiencing plug for U&ME vlogs. The man ray thing, to where you're looking down the whole time, where that high above. You couldn't help that because
okay, so he's talking about when we went on our big trip this year and this past summer.
Oh, spooky!
And we went to SeaWorld as one of our theme parks, so it was more of a surprise theme park. We were not.
Yes, we did.
We didn't predetermine that one. We didn't determine to go to.
Well,
that
maybe you didn't know
sure.
about it though. But...
No, I knew about it. We discussed it, but we decided let's do what you wanted to do. So that's why we put it in the books as going to those 3 parks. Or it was supposed to be just Disney and Universal. But then we decided let's go to SeaWorld at the very end while we're down there. That's what I mean by surprise, because we were down there already and we went. Wasn't predetermined before we even left the house. But we went and there was a ride called Manta, which gives you the feeling of flying like a manta ray underwater, which your back is
like
against the tracks
style.
above you. Yeah, it's like Superman.
But I've never rode Superman style, huh?
Well, actually, Superman is different.
It's not like that?
Than Manta. Superman, you actually lay. It stands. You're sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Am I thinking right? No, that's right. It does bring you up like that.
Yeah, because that's how you're flying.
Yeah, it does bring you up like that. Like Manta. I was thinking Superman was the other way. No, it's not. It's going up. Because I rode Superman Ultimate Flight at Six Flags over Georgia. So yeah, it brings you up to the track. That was my first flying roller coaster I rode with Superman. It was awesome. This one, Manta, was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the track and the formation it does and everything. So it was pretty cool how it did this twists and turns and stuff. Superman was a bit more, let's fly like Superman around. So because you're on the track and everything, so they had, the way they designed it was that the flips were inverted.
What the?
So
because it has to do.
So it went, you're on your back. So instead of doing your traditional loop like most roller coasters, going down and back up, this one went down and back around. Yeah, it's an inverted loop because you're laying on your back. So the way Superman did it was like he was diving down.
And then he had to come back up.
Yeah, to come back up. So
to
you had that feeling of, whoa!
Oh, because you had to go.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
They really made it feel like Superman flying. It was incredible. Incredible how that ride flew. So yeah, you got 2 more points on that one, so that's good. You didn't do bad. You didn't get 0, so. All right, let's go to the next round. You have 2 more rounds to make it to 13.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can get that win. We have dogs.
Dogs.
That looks like a rat, though. That's weird.
Wow. Of course, you got to.
Because the eyeballs are closed, so that's why it looks like a rat. We have death. Oh, lovely.
Oh, great. Cool.
We have cemeteries.
All right.
Oh, my home. Yes, yes. Beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Oh.
Wait. How is a cemetery beautiful? It's just tombstones.
All of his family
fields.
Hey, I can go see it's all quiet.
I get the idea that it's quiet and solemn, but still, it's just got an eerie feeling about it, and it's not
coming from an eerie thing.
Yeah. Anyway,
You need to bring us some flowers. That'd be nice.
Car accidents.
Bring us some flowers from the cemetery.
Okay.
Car accidents, which is another skull.
So, this one's gonna be.
Why? Eerie will why? Because you have a bunch of coffins under you. 6 feet below you.
All right. You want to have a gander at it again?
This should be 4 because I gotta guess 4 things. Okay. Alright. Dogs for 4. Cemeteries for 3. Car accidents and death at number 1. Give it to me, baby.
You got one.
Frick!
Death was at number 1, yes. I put cemeteries at 4.
Were you afraid of dogs or something?
3 at cars, and 2 at dogs.
So what was 4?
4 was cemetery. The least scary thing about it. Car accidents was number 3 because I've actually been in car accidents. I know what that feels like. Dogs, I've actually got bitten by a dog before, so you can kind of get the feel of how fearful people can be about dogs. I was never afraid of dogs until that happened, so my fearful for them went up around dogs. So when that happened, that's why that's up higher than what it normally would have been had I not did this without being bit, and it would have been lower. So, and then death obviously was at 1.
Mm-hmm.
For you, just for giggles, I did 4 car accident.
Giggles for giggles?
Yeah, I did 3 I did dogs for 3. I did cemetery at 2 and death at 1.
Okay, well, 4 was dogs, 3 cemeteries, 2 car accidents, and 1 death.
Okay, so I figured death was 1. I knew that was pretty much a dead giveaway because number 1, nobody is not afraid of death.
Yeah, they ain't nobody can be like.
I mean, yeah, people may be more peaceful about death, but they're still not going to be afraid of death. You know,
ain't nobody. You could be like, I can be ready for it, but
you can be
still
ready
afraid.
for it and be accepting of it.
You're
but
still fearful.
Not going to be.
There ain't no way. Ain't no single person in this world says, "Oh, I ain't afraid of death." Ain't no way.
Yeah, I mean, I know where we would die from the earth and move on to heaven, but still it's just like that unknown. Concept. Yeah, like.
But then you got those other people that does not help it at all. It's like,
all right, so you need what, 3 points now?
4. I mean, you got this people.
Right, you got 1 point that last time. Did you not mark it?
3, 4. Okay, then 3 then.
That's what I thought. 3.
Then you got those other people that do not help, and it's like, oh, there's nothing. It's just eternal, like black for nothingness, and that's just,
because they don't believe in that stuff.
Oh man, that does not help at all, and I have freaking panic attacks every night because of that.
All right, here we go. We have butterflies.
Oh, cute little butterfly. Okay.
I don't understand why people would be afraid of butterflies.
Patterns, probably.
Probably the pattern part on it.
Holes, because some of them got the little
crazy looking holes.
Polka dots, yeah.
Oh, we have snakes.
What's the image on the?
Okay, so now we got the insects and reptiles here, obviously, in this roundabout.
Flies.
We have small spaces.
Go back to like the elevator thing.
Yeah. And then we have shipwrecks.
Shipwreck Cove. Small spaces tie into the snake.
Okay. Oh. Oh. All right.
I gotta think about this. I gotta really study this, examine this one.
I'm sending my thoughts to you.
I usually only get about 2 every time I do that, but here we go. Here we go. I'm not ready. You do your. You say my fears first. I don't know how I can do it.
I'm gonna say that number 4 is shipwrecks.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is butterflies. Number 2 is snakes, and number 1 is small spaces.
Right, well, number 4 is butterflies, 3 shipwrecks, 2 snakes, and then 1 small spaces.
Okay, so I got 2 out of the 4 then. Mm-hmm. Correct. So my butterfly and shipwrecks were just swapped. I needed
so, like, is it the design?
Probably.
Because, I mean, this one has polka dot holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, if you do their face, then yeah, because, like, insect fakes, like, the faces freak me out. Like, the spider, all the eyes, and the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because if they have that face, then yeah. But I normally don't see the face, just the wings. Okay. I do not want to do this here. Don't you have a story about butterflies? Okay. Number 4. Butterflies. 3 shipwrecks. 2 snakes. And 1 small spaces. So everything I had for my fears. I usually only get like 2 right when I do that. Either that or shipwrecks at 4. Walk out the door. Things are not for me anymore.
So, are you sticking with shipwrecks at 3 or 4?
Why?
Because you said it once, and then you said either that or shipwrecks at 4. So I'm trying to get you to give me a definitive answer before I give you how many you got wrong or right.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys would be tricking me there and be like, because I can have it right now, and then you're like, are you sure? And then if I move it to 4, and then I already had it right in the first place, and then I'll be pretty pissed. But yeah, we'll go ahead and move shipwrecks to 4, which means butterflies will do the 3, right? But why would you be more afraid of butterflies? See, is this a trick thing? Ain't no tricks, right?
Okay, so is that your final answer? You got all 4 of them where you want them?
Oh crap, you didn't answer that.
I'm just asking you.
Now I kind of want to move small spaces to 2. The snakes to 1. But, yeah.
Alright. Final answer? This is for all the candy right here.
It should be 4.
If you get this wrong.
I've guessed 4 things.
Alright, well.
Whether or not I made it to 13, I would be like, no, it should have been 4 even if I won or not.
Okay, so 4 was shipwrecks.
Okay, alright.
3.
I kind of want to move that one, but I'll leave it as small spaces for 1, but I really do want.
Butterflies.
Okay. Come on, bingo. Come on, bingo.
All right.
Bingo.
So,
bingo.
You left
Bingo.
snakes at
bingo.
Small.
Bingo.
2.
Yeah, bingo.
Number 2.
Bingo.
Small spaces.
Frick! I was gonna move that one.
I told you that's your final answer.
Yeah, no, you were talking about the other 2. I said yes to the other 2, not the first 2. I'm thinking about 3 and 4. I was not talking about 1 and 2.
I asked you if you're going to keep small spaces at number 4. All right? And then I asked you, is that your final answer?
At 4. Shipwrecks at 4.
Yeah, that's what I said. So shipwrecks at 4. So then I asked you, that you can stay. You said yes, but then butterfly went to 3, right?
Mm-hmm. But that was with that one. I'm not talking about 1 and 2.
Answer?
I'm talking about 3 and 4. Final answer was 3 and 4.
And you even thought about switching them, and then you didn't. Switch snakes and small spaces, but you didn't.
You didn't say nothing about that one.
I've actually pet snakes.
Jeez.
I've actually
Get
pet
some 4
snakes
things.
before.
Just 4 rounds.
You want to go for another round?
Fun.
Just for the fun of it?
So what about you petting snakes?
I've pet snakes before. They are very cold.
Well, okay. Except for...
And they don't really have, like, a nose, nostrils, per se.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they may have, like, the holes for them. But they really get the sense of smell by sticking their tongue out. That's why you see snakes sticking their tongue out an awful lot.
Oh, the smell?
Mm-hmm.
What the? They got smelly things in their tongue or something?
It helps them smell better with it by sticking their tongue out. And also have some sense, fear, and everything else in the room.
You can do that?
Oh, yeah.
You sense fear?
Mm-hmm. Animals sense fear. Dogs sense fear. Cats sense fear. That's why they attack, because they can sense it.
So if they know they're afraid, they'll attack you? Why?
Because you're afraid of them. And they can, exactly. They just pounce on that fear.
Dumb.
It's a natural instinct. You're afraid of me. I'm bigger. I'm dominant than you. I'm going to attack you.
Yeah, might as well just show you. Yeah.
Exactly. Why are you afraid of me? Okay, I'll attack you.
What? Why do they do that? Like they're gonna. I'll calm down since you're afraid of me. I'm not gonna.
But that's why. That's why when people. That's why they say animals are more afraid of you than you are afraid of them. But when you lower yourself below them and make them more dominant than you because you're afraid of them.
Well, they've been here before us.
You know.
They've
been what I'm saying.
And they'll be here after us.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you gotta kind of have some.
But at the same time, though, here's the thing.
For them.
At the same time, though, in the Bible, God made man over the dominion over the animals.
No,
but yet there's the fear that puts into our human bodies that lowers us. Sharks.
Now, black snakes, there's nothing wrong with it. They're cool. They don't harm nothing.
Secondhand smoke.
They actually kill the animals, so like I'm pretty
Public
chill.
speaking.
I'm pretty chill with some black snakes now. Like so, this one right here.
Volcanoes.
We good. Sharks, secondhand smoke, public speaking, volcanoes. Already putting it up there. Let me guess, you pet a shark too?
Actually, I have.
What?
It was a baby shark.
Do, 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 do.
I had to rethink my thinking here.
Rethink your thinking. I did as well.
On you, not me.
Okay. Okay. Say it. Hit me with it. Hit me with my fears. What you think.
Okay. Number 4.
Okay.
Second-hand smoking.
Okay. All right.
Number 3, I put volcanoes. Number 2, I did sharks. Number 1, I did public speaking.
Okay, so 3 and 4. So you got all those correct, but 4, the smoke I was gonna put for 3 because I'm like, yeah, I don't want my lungs like freaked up and messed up the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, well, no, if I was next to a volcano and that sucker's like making some noises, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty afraid of it. So I moved it up.
But sharks and public speaking was the other way around?
No. Public speaking's like number 1.
Okay, and sharks number 2?
How'd you guess it?
I knew that you didn't like getting in front of people
because
you kind of explained that and showed that getting in front of just me and your mom in the other room a couple days ago. So I knew that from experience. Sharks are just some of the meanest fish in the ocean.
Other than orca.
And then, well, I'm talking about besides the orca, but yeah. They just look vicious.
Or dolphins, actually. Dolphins, like, people are, oh, they're so cute, but nah.
Dolphins are intelligent.
They are vicious to other animals. They're vicious to the animals.
They are very intelligent.
They're friends with humans, but like other
they're
animals.
very intelligent. They're very helpful, but they're intelligent. And when it comes to defending their own, yes, they can be pretty mean. Volcanoes, that was at 3, just because of the sheer size, magnitude, all the lava and everything else. And secondhand smoking or smoke.
Smoking volcano.
Secondhand smoke, I just put at 4 because, I mean, that really, in my opinion, isn't anything that I would be afraid of or you'd be afraid of.
Your lungs being messed up?
I mean, that aspect of it, yes, but I'm just saying, they're talking about the smoke itself. They're not saying secondhand smoke in your lungs.
That's what it causes, though.
I understand that. So, anyway, that took a gander at what I picked?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Smoke, public speaking, volcano, sharks. But now since you pet a baby shark, you're probably not afraid of sharks, so that's probably not number 1. I need my 1. I need my number 13 points. So I gotta have one of those right.
So, number 4, secondhand smoke.
Woo, bingo!
Number 3, public speaking.
Yeah. Two.
Number 2, volcanoes.
I got 5.
Number 1, sharks.
Woo, I got 5. Bingo. 2 bingos. Bring me up to 13 plus 5. I don't know. If math was on one of these cards,
15,
it'd be number
16,
1.
18.
Yeah, it would be on number 1 if math was on one of these cards.
You finally got 5 straight in a row to get your 4 straight in a row to get your 5 points. That time around.
4 rounds, yeah.
Took you 4 rounds instead of 3 like you first.
It should have been 4 anyway. I was like, well, wait, why did I say 3 when it should be 4? Because there's 4 things you gotta guess, so. A round per one thing you gotta guess. Shoot. Well, that didn't really work. I tried to sweep the cards and they just denied it. Threw everything off the table.
Alright. So that's a pretty fun game. I'm curious to see what other cards there are in the deck.
We got 200 more plus the one we haven't
200 and some plus more, but we didn't even get to the first
Not
deck
even
yet.
50, so like 250 more. Yeah, well, I did.
Who knows? That's less than. That's got like 30 or 40
maybe
right there.
20 cards, maybe. 30 to 40.
You think that's 20? That it went through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
So we did do 50.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
So we did do 50.
20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Hold on.
No!
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 41 cards.
With the challenge things, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, along with the challenge things.
So plenty more cards, and with plenty more cards means much more original cards now. So which also means
this game changes as you
this
play.
game will come back to the channel.
Definitely a lot.
There's still a lot more to explore.
Oh yeah, there's several cards left. We still have over 200 and some odd cards left.
Yeah.
260 cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think if my calculations are correct.
This is a good concept of what they have here. Which I would like to see this with other things. Like, based on other things that are not like fear. Like maybe things you'll find disgusting, or like this concept they got here with the ranking could go into other topics. Like maybe something people find disgusting, or something that could go on with something else.
One more marker. There it is. I would take that to a
party.
Since
it's a party
game?
Game?
A pretty fun game. I don't think that's considered a party game, but that'd be pretty fun to play with more than one. More than 2 people.
Viewer Day. Viewer Fun Day.
Yeah, we could do a Viewer Fun Day with that game. Although they wouldn't be able to write anything down to be kind of,
They would put it in chat.
at least not on that. They have to put it in chat.
Yeah.
And we couldn't look at the chat until we are done. Writing down our guesses for each person.
Like we would put it down, like put down fears and say, okay, now you guys can insert it in chat now. Go ahead and start typing it up and then press it. So
that is your worst nightmare. The card game that makes you face your fears. So some of those weren't nearly as scary as others. But I'm just curious in how far scary they'll get.
Yeah.
On the scary
there could probably be some more scarier sides on there. I think death was the scariest one that we've encountered here. Death, old, the elevators.
Yeah, there was a couple of them that were pretty scary. But I think death so far was
the
one that
was
the top of the scale.
Ain't nothing beating death.
Now you asked me, have I ever petted a snake? I mean, not a snake, but a shark. I have. Their skin is really rough,
which
like
was actually
sandpaper.
A sarcastic question because you said you pet a snake, so you weren't afraid of it. So like, I put shark as number 1. I'm like, oh, what? You put a shark too, so you're not gonna be afraid of it. Put it 1.
It was a bit. I pet when I was on a trip to Florida in the Florida Keys. No, it was at an aquarium. They pulled it out of the tank so you can pet. No, it was alive. They could breathe out of the water. They could breathe out of the water. For a short amount of time. He was talking to us all, and he had him with both hands, and he laid him belly side up so you could pet his belly.
Now he's upside down and can't breathe.
Exactly.
Torture. No wonder he's gonna bite your face off.
Could do, they can. So, or on his side a little bit where you can pet. But anyway, yeah, it was interesting. It was like sandpaper consistency, it was rough. And I have actually touched a manta ray or stingray. You can do that in almost every single aquarium nowadays.
But they're just swimming around.
They're swimming around. And those are very slimy,
Uh-huh.
smooth feeling. Horseshoe crab, those are pretty interesting
Rough.
to pick up and hold. They're actually harmless. Surprisingly, they're actually harmless.
They can't pinch?
No. They're just claws that they crawl with. They're just like a horseshoe. They're like a horseshoe. And now they have that barnacle that sticks out the back of them.
Barnacle.
Or their tail that comes to a point. I call it a barnacle. What is it?
A
Tail
little
comes to a point.
Scorpion.
That I'm sure they could see what they do is that's how they attack. See, they can't bite you or clamp you because they don't have any claws. But that tail, that back end can curl around like a stingray and poke you.
Oh, so they're not completely harmless.
But they don't ever. They're like you can pick it up and they're not going to immediately strike at you, right?
Nice of them.
You pick them up and you turn them on their back. All you see is their little legs just just flinching around. They're not going to try to attack you because all they do is when you pull them out of the water, they immediately just fold up. And they're not going to hurt you because you hold them on the bottom and their tails already going to fall up on top of themselves.
But if you hold it the other way?
Why would you want to hold it this way and not see their legs? That doesn't make any sense to me.
They're chill, and you can hold them this way and see their eyes.
I'd rather have them where it's not going to curl up and get me. If I held this way, or have my hand where they're they're going to get me that way. But my hand's on the claws, you know. Which I should pick up one of those too.
What?
I used to live on a beach. They're all over the beach.
Crab?
Horseshoe crab, yeah.
Jellyfish.
Those are more, surprisingly, horseshoe crabs are less likely to do anything to you than a hermit crab. Because they have the pinchers. Hermit crabs have the pinchers and stuff. Horseshoe crabs don't. They don't have those pinchers.
Oh.
Speaking of pinchers, there's some funny stuff I've seen on some stuff. Pretty funny stuff.
Stuff?
Yes.
What?
There's a show called World's Dumbest Criminals, and this guy walked into a convenience store. Happened to be I can't remember where that's at. I think it was from Florida somewhere. Walked into a convenience store and he's walking around and he decides he wants to steal a lobster.
Okay. Let the man have a lobster.
The guy pulled the lobster right out of the tank. It's alive. And so he decides that in order for him to conceal the lobster and walk out of the store, he's going to stick the lobster down his pants.
Okay, well, yeah. That's pretty stupid stuff.
Next thing you know, you see him come back in the camera angle and he's flailing his arms over his head because said lobster clamped on to nether regions down south.
Wow.
Yeah. So, moral of the story is...
Not even the thigh or nothing. Just
don't...
stick a lobster in your pants.
Stick a lobster...
Why would you anyway?
So, would I be scared of lobsters? Yes, because I can clamp onto you. Would I be scared of horseshoe crabs? Probably not as scared as lobsters. But yes, I would probably still be scared of them because the just unpredictability if they can get that flip that tail back up fast enough to you, you know.
Look at the wrist.
But yeah,
your worst nightmare. Maybe we can come back to it before the Halloween Spooktacular ends?
Maybe, depending.
Because there's still a lot to it. So.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot more fear to be
unleashed.
And figured out if we can actually conquer our fears or not. So after playing after doing the gameplay and everything, I really like that game. I'll probably have to give it a perfect score.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because there's just so much to the game.
Yeah.
There's 300 cards there.
And it's different.
How easy it is to erase. You don't have to sit there and scrub real hard like some marker board games. You sit and scrub and they leave stains that you wrote before. Yeah, exactly. This was easy. There was no markings left. Or stains of the ink left on the board. So because of that and the whole gameplay and just the fact that there's 300 cards there, you can sit there and play all night playing this game because there's 300 cards. But they give you 13 points to go up to, so the game will end, so you can come back to it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to give it a perfect score because it's just the box is well made and everything. So even the container that holds everything is well made.
Yep.
So.
And this I don't really see it as a game because usually a game would be competitive. I don't really feel too much competitive in this.
Well, the gameplay is guessing what the other person's fears are.
And there's really no strategy to that. It's just random. It's like whatever. Well,
you really have to. You really basically how it is. You really have to think how they think, not what you think when you break down those answers.
It's like out of your shell. So just
put yourself in their shoes when it comes to the fear.
It just gets everybody together and then they talk about it. So
and in your perspective, it would be.
It starts a conversation.
If I was Blitz, what would I be afraid of the most? In my perspective, it would be if I was Deucin, what would I be afraid of the most, or at least.
And that still didn't work.
Mine. When I thought that way, it worked pretty well. Our first round, thinking it didn't work at all because we didn't have any points first round. But the more we played it, the more I thought about how you would think, the better my chances were to get more points. And I got 13 before you got 13. But overall points, you got 18, and I got like 16 or 17, whatever it was.
Gold trophy month!
So, but I did get the 13 first before you did. And I let you take extra 3-4 rounds to make the 13 to feel accomplished. So.
Yeah, I don't really see these as like the outer shell and this. I don't really see.
It's this game and outer shell game that we have are mainly for topic.
Yeah.
Starting games like what I didn't think you'd be afraid of that more. And that's what they say to discuss what you're talking about. Why are they in that position? How can you overcome your fears by discussing yourself. Discussing to others about your fears, and that's why when you talk about it and you think about the scale of 1 to 4, then you can write something down, and when you sit there and you think about it, you'd be like, oh wait, so and so is not as bad as I thought it was when I actually think about it. So you put something else in place. The reason why I said small spaces was higher than the other ones is for some reason, I was on a water slide at a water park, and it was an enclosed body tube, where you would slide on your back all the way down. And about halfway through, for some reason, I felt like that tube was getting tight around me, and I had water in my face, and I couldn't get the water off my face fast enough to clear it so I can calm myself down, and I nearly had a panic attack in a tube.
What, it just kept coming in?
Yeah, because of the tube, the fact of the tube and the water in my face at the same time, it just freaked me out. And so I've always had, even when I was younger, my older brothers and my dad would sit on me on the couch.
Yeah, that's always the worst.
And I guess because they did that so much that when I went on this water ride, you know, it freaked me out because I guess that brought back memories of being in this tight space and I couldn't get out for so long. You know. They eventually got up, obviously. I'm still alive.
Mm.
You know, but it was just that,
oh, dang.
hey. You know, they were doing it because they're just being funny and everything, but it was just like, you know, just like, I guess that brought back memories of being in a tight
couch sandwich,
a tight space in the couch or in that tube. It was just similarities and the thoughts were coming back to me and everything. So
is that the hidden meaning behind you not doing the cool tube that was on the birthday vlog?
No. I mean, that was part of it. I just didn't feel like doing that too.
It was awesome.
I might eventually.
You don't always do the fun stuff.
I might eventually do one of those just to experience and see what it's like. You know, just to get it off my bucket list. Because I think it was an interesting looking slide.
I've been wanting to do it years ago. Like I seen on a video where we went to the Bahamas and that was one of them. And there's that one that goes through the sharks too. Yeah. You're going down and you see goes through the water. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So when they had that, I'm like, yeah.
I've always just wanted to experience one of those, but I just didn't. I didn't have enough guts to do it that time around. But
cool.
Next time, if I have that chance, I'll probably do it.
It doesn't even feel like that. It was
I know, and that's the way I felt like when I went on Fire Tower Falls at.
It was cool. The drop
Country.
was like awesome. It's scary, but then the slide was kind of disappointing because it didn't feel.
I guess the most fearful thing about that slide isn't the slide itself. It's just the when the floor drops out below you.
Yeah, because the slide's kind of just because you don't feel like you're actually.
I mean, if you guys would have seen what I seen at the top of the tower when he dropped, he had his ankles interlocked. He had his hands on his waist.
I was laughing at everybody. It's like, why are you screaming? Like, you know it's going to happen. And then I'm just like, oh, yeah, okay. And then I go, oh, too. It's like, oh. And next thing you know, all I see is he's looking at me. He's kind of like chuckling just a little bit. He's more of an afraid chuckle, What am I getting myself into? I'm in danger.
Yeah, I'm in danger. What am I getting myself into? Let me out. That type of thing, Next thing you know, all I see is his hands flying up above his head and drop. You're like, whoa! I'm like, oh my gosh.
You just did that. You know.
Oh, man. And when I got on top of Fire Tower Falls, which is one of the bigger, steeper slides at Splash Country, got up there. I'm like, well, I'm not taking the walk of shame. I'm not going back down that
one. Like the huge ones?
Yeah, the tall ones. Yeah. I got up there and I'm like, okay, well, I'm up here. I'm not going to go down the stairs again. I already climbed up here. I'm going to do this.
Again?
So I sat down. No, this is another one. This is that steep one on the other side of the wave pool area. Mm-hmm. Those tall towers right there. The straight down ones, yeah. God, I climbed all the way up, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go back down the stairs. I'm not taking the walk of shame. I'm not afraid of the slide. I just never rode any of those slides before. I didn't know what to experience, and I expect it,
And this on the back.
Right. So, my friends that I was with, they already went down, so I was the last one to get down.
Okay.
And I got on, and I crossed my ankles, put my hands over my shoulders, and
here we go.
I started. I went down. End of the ride. I get off and I'm like, that was it?
That was it. Felt like a normal
Really?
slide.
That was it?
Didn't even feel like you were dropping.
I mean, yeah, my back stung a little bit where the water was, in between the slide and my back,
Rough.
a little rough feeling, but I mean, it wasn't bad. I'm like, that was it? You know. Why in the world was I afraid of doing a slide like that when I was younger? To this day, I still have no idea why I was afraid of those slides like that. Because I guess I just never really... Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was the anticipation, the look of it, that type of thing, you know. There was a slide in Florida, at a water park that I used to go to a lot, that it was two tube slides, and they started side by side, and they went down like that. But as they went down, both slides twisted around each other. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Because for some reason, my brain thought, if I go in that tube, I'm coming out a pretzel.
No, because the twist.
Yeah. For some reason, that's what I thought, you know. So, but anyway. Your worst nightmare, the card game that makes you face your fears. Yes, fears. So, are you afraid of the dark? Ah! What the?
Alan, come on, dude! Stop that crap.
Scaring us, turning the lights out on us now and everything. What, we got control everything? Maybe not. Anyway.
I'm curious to see what else he's got up.
Right?
Yeah. What he's got for the future episodes. Trophy looks nice over there.
That's my trophy. That's mine. I'm claiming it right now. That's my trophy. I will have that. I will raise it over my head and be crowned U&ME Board Gaming Halloween Spooktacular champion. And the holder of the Golden Skeleton Award. And then I will become the reigning defending Golden Skeleton Award champion. Anyway. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. And if you're on Twitch,
follow us on Twitch, U_ME Gaming. You can chat, interact with us, and be featured in the YouTube videos, and hopefully not have poor connection, and be put on the viewer board and the leaderboard.
And also put on the
viewer lantern.
Viewer lantern there.
And be a Jacko viewer. Didn't have anybody this stream that tuned in to kind of show you guys, but they'll pop in later in the series. And
yeah, there's still lots of time to be added to that. So join us on Twitch.
Yeah, we're just in the first one. So.
Yeah, we're just in the first stream. So anyway. Nothing one left to say.
Thank you, Alan, tuning in or being here for us.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Even though you're sticking us out a bit.
That's my job.
Yep. But maybe just turn out just a little bit. Maybe.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, one thing left to say. Don't get scared.
Play a board game. And
yeah.
Face your fears and hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. Subscribe to U&ME Board Gaming, #1. Ranked
and hit that bell if you dare.
Yeah. church bell. Yep.
Anyway.
That's ranking the viewers. Subscribing to U&ME Board Gaming, #1 fear.
Yeah.
So face your fear, your worst nightmare, and just subscribe. And share. Share it. Yeah, share it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Been another episode of the Halloween Spooktacular.
We will see you all in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.